Hello everybody and welcome back to Jeb Lost His Keys, where we are trying to find Jeb's lost house keys somewhere in the Jewel planetary system. So in this episode we are going to visit the thing that I called the ugly little space potato back in the previous episode. Yes, we're going to BOP. Okay, and since BOP is in a very weird orbit, well, not really weird, it's just really eccentric, I have to... Oh, look at that. Another beautiful scenery of this magnificent planet-moon system, whatever you want to call it. I have no idea about astronomy. Okay, back to the action. We are going to visit BOP, and since it's in a very eccentric orbit, I have to... well, not eccentric, I'm sorry, inclined orbit. I had to use a lot of delta V to get there, and now that we're here in space high above BOP, we can collect some more science. Yay! Okay, we got our little crew member here collecting all the data that he or she can. I did not look at the gender. And enjoy the view of Jewel hanging there in the background. Okay, now get back in there now that your work is done. Come on. There you go. Okay, come on, get in. There is BOP in the background. Yeah, you're gonna get there soon. Don't worry. Don't worry. Come on, find the entrance. There we go. Okay, now that we are closer to BOP, we can now perform our circularization burn. And there we are. We are in orbit around BOP. Okay. It's a little bit high, but that doesn't matter. We don't need a lot of delta V to land there and get back up into orbit to the Naginata, because the Yajiri has loads of delta V to spare, even with, I'm thinking, only half the fuel on board. I don't know. I'm not worried. Okay, there we go. We're going to perform that in one sitting. Just reducing our velocity and then just glide down to the surface. While we're doing that, we have to perform our science collection later than we usually do in orbit, because the Naginata is too high up to register in lower space around a moon. Okay, once we've done that, it's just time to wait and throttle up a bit. The engine is way too powerful for this little minuscule gravity of that moon. But the other thing is, there are some steep hills on BOP, which can make landing, well, challenging. And as you can see here, I've of course elected to land in a very steep place. Let's see how that turns out. Oh. Well, perfect! The Yajiri manages to stand on just one leg. Well, that's a well-balanced plane over here. Okay, now that that is done, it's time to collect some more science and also gather some EVA goodness. Yeah, there we go, we're going to do all the science, every science, all the science we can imagine, and then of course get it back to the ship. I hope I don't tip it over, since it's, well, in quite a precarious position, to be honest. Let's see if I can get Debda Kerman inside here standing, otherwise I have to fiddle around with the RCS all the time. Oh, doesn't seem like I have any footing in here. That's too bad, but we can manage. Oops, okay, falling down. Oh, come on! Yay! Kerbal Space Program, where your astronauts decide to roll down an entire hill before they react again. But once we're here, well, while we're here, let's just plant the flag, shall we? Okay, back to collecting that science. Now we can restore it and collect some more. There we go. Finally, we're done. And let's head back into space. Look at all those science points dropping in. Okay, time to head back to the mothership, back to the Naginata. And as I mentioned before, this is a breeze since BOP is really easy to land on. Okay, the plane is firing. We're enjoying the scenery once more. Even though there are games with better graphics out there, I still think Kerbal Space Program is one of the most beautiful games out there at the moment. Which has probably more to do with my affinity for everything space related than the graphics themselves. And yes, we have an encounter or rendezvous with our mothership. Enjoying the view of that big brown potato, Debtor Kerman is getting a bit hungry. And now we're already close to the Naginata and heading for our docking maneuver. Let's just try not to hit it, so we don't have any accidents in space. That would be bad. Okay, heading in there, docking. And yes, we have docked successfully. Perfect. Oh, yeah, the hatch is now somehow obstructed. If you remember one of the previous episodes, I managed to get out fine. Maybe that was with the Tylo jacket still attached, so there was more space. With the other docking port, I have no idea. I have to rewatch my own videos. Well, if you liked my videos, you can rewatch them as well. It would be much appreciated. Thank you. Okay. In all seriousness, we now got the science, and we are heading back to the lab to drop them off. Yeah, I'm trying to collect everything in that tiny little lab, well, tiny in that lab over there. Boom, there we go. And once we've done that, everything is dropping in place. Perfect! Now it's time to get to Pole. And well, that little tiny speck of moon dust is also not very easy to reach. First of all, since we're starting from an inclined orbit, and second of all, because it has so low gravity that capturing around it is a bit hard. But we're going to manage fine in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.